What up, folks? Once again, it is indeed your boy Tim with another video that we want to discuss with you. About to say my old spiel from my rideshare videos, but it just came from the gas station. Paid an astronomical amount for fuel. Gotta go grocery shopping tonight. I'm not expecting any good news from the cashier when I go grocery shopping this evening either. I'm also watching the news, listening to the news on the way from point A to point B. I'm hearing about immigrants taking over someone's residence in the New York area, squatting in their dwelling, and selling drugs out of the dwelling. So they're selling drugs out of this individual's place, and one of them had possession of a firearm. They had a criminal history already, and they're in the country undocumented, illegally, whatever the case may be. And within a quick moment of court, they were arrested, and within a quick moment in court, they have been set free once again, all undocumented. So what I'm going to ask, now that I don't went to the gas station, paid more for gas than I felt comfortable with, I'm going grocery shopping tonight. I'm not happy with what I expect to pay. And I'm hearing immigrants on TV taking over people's places, committing crimes. It is indeed a slow news day, plus or minus President Trump losing an immunity plea down in Georgia. But it's a slow news day. Occasionally we do play the role of devil's advocate. I think today is a perfect day for that. Why the hell should I not support Trump? We're going to take the devil's advocate. We're going to take the other side. Why? Tell me why I shouldn't support Trump. America is in complete chaos. Whether it is how much you're paying at the pump, how much you're paying at the grocery store, or what you see on the local news. Tell me why would it make sense to vote for Biden again? Perhaps it is time for America to wake up. Regardless of your background, regardless of your gender, regardless of your culture, perhaps it's time to wake up and vote like someone who gives a damn. Tell me why I shouldn't vote for Trump. We're going to play a devil's advocate from this side, and I certainly would like to hear your comments. You know how the program is, always will be MAGA friendly. MAGA always my preferred guest. Nevertheless, liberals are welcome on the program as well. We do not block, ban, or censor anyone for their commentary. So understand when you're in the comment section, whether you're communicating with the host, it does not matter if you agree or disagree. It's all about free speech. So devil's advocate Thursday here. Why should someone not consider voting for Trump? Biden seems to be a mess. Not to mention, at the age of damn near 82, do you feel confident he's going to even be around or effective till 86? So tell me why, on this devil's advocate Thursday, why the hell should I not support Trump? Trump seems to be the president with a far better history that's more advantageous to the American citizen in terms of finances, the economy, lack of global conflicts. So if I'm leaning towards Trump, why the hell should I not do that? Looking in the comment section, Biden definitely is not a decent person. Okay, let's go with that. Then why the hell should I vote for him? Perhaps I should vote for Trump. I want to know, why should I not vote for Trump? We're taking the devil's advocate route today. It's a slow news day. Want to get your opinions. Start out by tapping the screen. Get your boy on up to 10,000. You know how the program is ran. I remember paying almost $6 a gallon for gas in 2007, and that was a Republican president. That is true. That's the end of the George W. Bush administration. We'll start right out. Why should I not consider voting for Trump? Going straight to the box, I think maybe it might be my carrier. I don't know. We'll see if we can bring up the guests. I'm having trouble with TikTok every day. I switched from T-Mobile to Verizon, And all of a sudden, every damn day, I'm having trouble with the TikTok app. The YouTube broadcast is still on T-Mobile, so I'm starting to wonder here. Are you there? Are you there? Okay, my guess. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, why should I not consider voting for Trump?
Well, I wouldn't say that you don't need to not vote for Trump. I'm more of a, I'm voting for Trump because give me a better option.
Yeah.
Trump himself, I'm not a fan. I don't like some of the stuff he says, but to me, from my point of view, looking at the way the world is today, is going to hell in a handbasket.
Yeah. So Trump is likely the best choice to change all this around and get things back on track.
In my point of view, it is. I can't see. Like I said, give me a better choice.
Yeah. So why do you think so many people, considering that the economy was pretty good under Trump, we weren't dealing with all these military conflicts, we could afford groceries. Why do you think so many people dislike the guy?
Because of his mouth. Just to be plain and simple. People don't like what he says. That he's. I like that part of him because he don't hold back. He just says what he thinks, and I personally think that like Ronald Reagan was, he didn't hold back. He just let go.
Yeah. Do you believe personally that America would be a better country if we all just spoke our opinion, nobody held back, and we for the most part very similar to Trump, said whatever we wanted? If I thought you were an idiot, just come out and call you one. Do you think that America would be a better place like that?
Well, not like that, but if we all would quit getting offended by someone else's opinion and just, have a conversation and agree to disagree, I think the country would be a whole lot better, because it seems to me like the powers to be try to keep us pitted against one another.
Yeah.
If we all stood together and fought for what we thought was right, like today, I don't care if so-and-so wants to be a female, as long as it don't affect me.
Yeah.
Like yesterday, you was talking about abortion.
Mm-hmm.
I've got no problem with somebody wanting to do. It's their body, it's their choice.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't want to pay for it. That's where I don't want my tax money paying for it, because I'm against abortion. But if that's what somebody else wants to do, and if we all would agree like that, we could solve a whole lot more problems, I think.
Well, now, in regards to your tax money not going to cover somebody's abortion, so you're against the abortion bans. Just as long as your tax money is not going to pay for it, you don't mind a woman getting an abortion.
That's what floats her boat. If that's what she needs to do.
Okay.
I think there's other ways of handling that other than getting an abortion. But who am I to tell them what to do with their body?
Yeah. Now, you do understand, because you and I are both suggesting voting for Trump, that side of the aisle that we're both talking about being in favor of, they are going to tell women what to do with their body, though.
Well, they're going to try.
They're already doing it. I don't know about try. They're already doing it.
Well, yeah. We got to pick our battles, right?
Yeah. You think you think we maybe, if we're both on the same side of the aisle, perhaps we bit off more than we can chew with the abortion bans?
I think that's a wrong thing to do.
Yeah.
I wasn't for Roe versus Wade. I was giving the power back to the states, but there again, I think that we shouldn't be having anything to say about that. That should be, a woman's choice, a woman's right to do whatever she wants. Whether I'm against it or you're for it, we could agree to disagree on that point and go on about our day and be happy about it.
Well said. And I think most Americans, regardless of what side of the aisle they're on, I think most Americans do agree with you that a woman, at least at some point, should have a choice. They shouldn't have this, the bans should not be as strict as they are, but nevertheless, we are here where some states have for the most part, a merciless ban. Even if your life is at risk, there's no option.
Yeah, that's wrong to me. If for a medical emergency, I don't think that should be banned. Like I said, I don't think any of it should be banned. It's a free country. We have the right to choose.
Yeah.
My whole ordeal about the whole thing was, they wanted, but you should have to pay for it yourself.
Yeah. I don't see any. Yeah, I don't see any problem with a person saying that. Listen, I don't support abortion, so I don't want my tax money going to it. I don't see any issue with that at all. I do have to move it on, though, Danny. Appreciate you coming on.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
Appreciate it. So what we're thank you. What we're doing today? It is a slow news day. I understand President Trump lost an immunity case down in Georgia. But other than that, because it's a slow news day, we're doing what we do this every few months, a Devil's Advocate Thursday. I'm asking, if I'm taking the side of Trump, why the hell should I not vote for him? I'm taking the side where we could pay for groceries. It was affordable. We could fill up the tanks in our vehicles. It was affordable. There was not major military conflicts on television every night, on the news every night, under President Trump. As the Devil's Advocate part of this proceeds, why should someone not consider voting for President Trump? Looking at Biden, many would suggest that he is in frail health, perhaps may not even, necessarily be effective throughout his term if he's reelected. So why shouldn't someone consider voting for Trump? What's wrong with President Trump? Most folks favored the way the country, the nation was being ran under President Trump. So why not consider him? Look it in the comments, because Trump is healthy, says Simon, says, boom, that's what we're talking about. Trump is healthier than Biden. Many folks believe it. So what's the problem? Why not vote for Trump? Why not make America great by voting for Trump? Just going to come straight out. Look at in the comments, Trump inherited a good economy, but he didn't destroy it. He inherited a good economy. Many would argue it got even better. Does he not deserve credit for that? In the comments, what's more important, morality in politics or someone selling a dream? Well, first we have to ask, who is selling the dream? Because many folks would suggest that under President Trump, they lived it. Life was better under President Trump financially in this country. Many folks suggest that. So from a devil's advocate side of things, I'm asking today, why should we not get behind President Trump? If a man can't say abortion is wrong, why is it okay for a woman to say a man can't have a gun? It's his body, his choice. I don't know if owning a gun has anything to do with your body. I don't quite get that. I understand where you're trying to go with that, but I don't know if that makes sense. David Funk on YouTube says, because he has a sound economic economy. The only ripple right now is to stop Netanyahu. When your policy is like the Allies, terrible and criminal, except in love and war. But this is decimation. Well, David, in regards to suggesting that Biden's only issue is stopping Netanyahu, many would suggest under President Trump, you didn't even have a conflict to begin with. So why should we not support President Trump? Folks believe the country was running much smoother under President Trump. Why not support Trump? Common sense. Good afternoon. Welcome to the program. Tap the screen, folks. Get me on up to 20,000. Good afternoon, Common Sense.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. Why shouldn't we support Trump? Why shouldn't we get behind him, man?
Well, just I was listening to you guys speaking a few minutes ago, and I kind of been thinking to myself, and I don't think, you're attacking women's rights. I don't think, like, when women go to the voting booth, they're not going to, just because they're, like, with their husbands, like, yeah, we're going to vote for Trump. When you're attacking their rights in the voting booth, they're going to end up voting however they want, And you can't forget that in 2016,
But how are women's rights being attacked? They're just giving the power back to the states to decide. How is the president attacking rights?
Well, I mean, women had more rights, it felt like, until they started questioning that and going back Roe versus Wade.
Yeah, but...
And that was under Trump, wasn't it?
Well, Trump put in right-leaning Supreme Court justices that did roll back Roe v. Wade, but they didn't make the states pick a side on the abortion debate. That is a state issue. They were just giving the states the right to decide. So how is that the federal government removing rights from women? The states did that.
I feel like when they were interviewing those Supreme Court justices that they said they weren't going to touch it, that they were already set in place, and they knew they were already going to touch it. So I think it's kind of compromised from the get-go.
Well, yeah, but I can't really go by, I understand you feel that way. A lot of folks feel that way, but I really can't necessarily debate based on feelings, because other folks feel like they may have had a change of heart once they became an appointee.
Yeah, but to be a judge, you have to be up at the most highest, and then you even got judges taking bribes and doing, the Supreme Court don't look so good.
I agree with that part, but what does that got to do with Trump? I mean, there's Supreme Court members that Trump didn't appoint, like Sotomayor, who has been known to take a few things.
Well, with Trump's rhetoric, I don't enjoy having to hear the right always trying to cover up everything he says, like just talking points, like stand down and stand by. If you're simple talking points, you know what I mean? You shouldn't, as the right people who want to vote for Trump, shouldn't have to go and make his arguments all the time of simple stuff that he says or what we see about, like, with our own eyes.
Yeah. But what about the notion that if you're having more money in your pocket, your retirement plan is doing better, a 401k, you're not hearing about military conflicts all the time on the news, that his rhetoric is simply affecting your emotion, but his policies is affecting your pocketbook positively. Why not pay attention to what he's doing as opposed to what he's saying?
You're not going to catch me on that argument. Ever since I've always worked and I'm self-employed, so I've always bettered myself. I don't feel like I'm hurting.
Fuel prices at the grocery store, goods and services in this country hasn't affected you at all?
No, I used to run a FedEx route, 15, 16 years ago. I remember fuel prices being up high. I was paying for diesel. I bought a house under Obama, saved $8,000 on tax break, and when I sold the house under Biden, it was 3 times the amount. So, I mean, how do you hurt in that kind of economy? How do you tell real estate agents that they're hurting? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I get your point, but I'm just simply saying, so the fact that goods and services in this country cost more under Biden and Trump, that's meaningless to you.
I think when the left attacks and say they're going to tax the rich, I think the rich find ways to tax us first so we could end up paying for it in the long run.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. But other than Trump's... Yeah, I don't, and listen, they're going to find a way to get paid first. I don't disagree with you at all, but...
Okay, holidays, everything takes away your money. If you're going to live a broke life and not put your money towards the right thing, of course they come up with everything for ways for you to spend your money.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. But what about the idea that we weren't constantly on the brink of war under Trump, but under Biden, things seem to be falling apart?
America was built off war, man. I mean, you're going to have to talk a whole peace talk other than we're always going to see war here. I mean, the whole country was built off taking stuff from people and making other people work for it.
I mean, that's true. But when you say the country was built off war, isn't it refreshing to have a candidate like Trump when he was in office to show that we were going in a different direction? perhaps reaching out to some of our
It's brought more
adversaries.
violence to our shores within our own people. We're still having these arguments. You see things like Charlottesville, people marching saying that JEW will not replace us. You see people getting run over. You see him not denouncing white supremacy, telling them to stand down. But I think he's causing more conflict than he would good on our own shores within ourselves. And
But is that Trump causing conflict, or is that people perhaps maybe misinterpreting what he's talking about, taking him out of context?
I guess if you can argue that thing all day, as always said, I mean, like we can see things with our own eyes. People say January 6th still argue that didn't happen. I mean, we saw it with our own eyes,
Well, but in regards to January 6th, the people are allowed to protest. I mean, you have a First Amendment right to protest. They believed that the election, there was all types of suspicious activities, such as mail-in votes. They go to bed at one night, and Trump is way up. They wake up, and all of a sudden, the numbers have changed. Are they not allowed, according to the First Amendment right, to protest and assemble?
For sure, but pick your battles. I mean, you're literally having like the My Pillow guy be your leading spokesperson in this. I mean, come on. I mean, are we gonna really go after let those type of people be like, yeah, we got information, but it's just like when Trump kept promising the health care. Oh, 2 weeks. Well, what? The election was gonna get overturned because Trump actually won. That never happened. He's never proven his case, so it's just rhetoric.
Well, in regards to the my
locked up, right?
Well, in regards to the My Pillow guy, you can't control whether somebody's passionate or not. Mike Lindell may have went in over his head. That's him. He's an individual citizen. Hey, he has a right to speak, and there's consequences. He's paying them, and that's his own individual problem.
In Trump's own, didn't he hire a guy? I think it was off the top of my head. He hired a guy to make sure there was no election fraud. And that guy came back and said that there was one of the most securest elections ever.
Yeah, but many would suggest that some of the information has yet to come out because some of it is in areas controlled by liberals. We'll see what happens on that. But right now, I will agree with you on that part. I do got to move it on, though, common sense. I think you lived up to your name today. Appreciate you coming on.
All right, you lived up to the handsome liberal.
Maybe not. Appreciate you folks coming into the program. By the way, tap the screen. Slow news day. So we're taking it from a devil's advocate point of view. So we're taking the other side and simply asking, why not support President Trump? You pay less for groceries. Many folks believe their retirement accounts, they actually believe they know their retirement accounts are doing significantly better under Trump. You were not hearing about, military conflicts breaking out around the world under President Trump. So why not consider Trump as opposed to Biden? You see him on television constantly stumbling over speech, occasionally having slips and falls, perhaps trying to shake the hand of somebody who doesn't even exist on stage. The guy is 82, likely to, we'll leave it to you, 82 to 86 years of age. You think he'll be effective at the sunset of his life in such a late stage? Why not Trump? Why not President Trump? Looking in the comments, there's no spring chicken. Fact, I agree with that. Trump is coming back. Watch. Well, many folks believe that. Most of the polls show Trump ahead of Biden. So taking the devil's advocate on this slow news day, I'm asking, what is wrong with supporting Trump? Perhaps this country might be better off with a second Trump presidency. What say you? Look it in the comments. No, we are arguing. We are arguing. One people are just saying things about him, while the other people have actually tried to get him held accountable. I'm assuming you're talking about Trump there, T, in the comments on YouTube. Biden calls black kids roaches and loves have them jump on his lap. His words, suggesting that Biden is not even favorable to the black community. So why not vote for Trump? How would America suffer? Many folks, 2017 to 2021, saw America economically as successful. Why not put Trump back in office? Richard Ryder Sr., good afternoon. Welcome to the program. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, good to have you on, Richard. So why not President Trump? Give him a second chance.
Well, I'm a Republican, sir.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost like a clown show to me with him. His 2017 tax plan, I wanted to tell you something, too, by the way. My 401k suffered under Bush. It rebounded quite well.
How did it do under Obama?
It did good. It increased. It increased all the way up till it took another hit, but it's back. It rebounded again. It comes and goes.
How did it do under Trump?
It did good. It did good.
How is it doing now?
It's doing good.
Okay.
I haven't lost anything, so.
All right.
My thing with him is that his 2017 tax plan was supposed to increase, it's supposed to benefit the worker. And it ended up being like $750 more instead of $6,000 or $7,000 like they claimed. And I don't know. It's almost like we're in a, how back in the day, I know you're old enough to know this. Back in the day, there would be a president. They would get elected, and Democrats and Republicans could get along. Now it's like you don't dare mention politics because it'll turn into an all-out shouting match.
Why do you think we're so divided now?
I think Trump divided us.
Wow.
And I just think his rhetoric and his lifestyle.
What do you mean by lifestyle?
The sexual predator part.
Wait a minute. You believe Trump is a sexual predator?
I think anybody that hung around Epstein and rubbed elbows, Democrats and Republicans alike, that guy was bad news.
Thank you, Marcus. Appreciate that. Okay, sexual predator. Wow. So if you feel he's a sexual predator, 74 million people rode with Trump in the last election. Did you vote for Trump at all yourself, considering you state you're a Republican?
The first time I did. The second time I didn't vote at all.
Okay. So everything about, was it like new information came out, in your opinion, to not make you want to vote for him again?
Well, how he handled COVID and his tax plan, that 2017, everybody makes it sound. It reminds me of Ronald Reagan's trickle down, economics. It made wages stagnant. Everybody thought it was great, but I don't see where it helped us economically. At the time it did, but...
But wait a minute. Now you're telling me you are a conservative. You are a Republican.
Yes.
And you don't like Reagan or Trump?
No, I like Reagan. I just think that his trickle-down tax plan that he come up with made wages stagnant, and I think it affected the middle class. Just because I'm a Republican don't mean I'm not middle class,
Okay. So what did you think? What did you think of Obama?
I liked Obama. He was okay.
Okay.
It's not nothing, at least you could talk with people about politics. Now like I said, you can't even mention politics.
What do you think of Biden?
I think he needs to retire.
Okay. But what do you think of his actual performance in office?
He could have did worse, but he could do a lot better.
Okay. Compared to President Trump, in terms of performance, I know you mentioned you're not a fan of Trump's rhetoric, but in terms of the economy and how he was running the country compared to Biden, what say you?
Well, I think he did okay the first half, but the second half, I think how he handled COVID and said drink bleach, do this, and all this other foolishness that come out. It'll be gone. It's just a regular flu. It'll be gone in a couple weeks. And then 1 million people die from it.
Wow. So you believe Trump is responsible for COVID deaths?
No, I'm not saying he's responsible, but I think he should have took a lot more action. I don't think he's responsible. Nobody's initially responsible, it's just something that happens.
Well, you said he handled it wrong, and then a million people died. Do you think if Trump had handled COVID, in your opinion of whatever properly you would have thought it would have been, do you think if he handled it properly, less people would have died?
I don't know how much less, but yes, that's what I think.
So you do believe he's responsible for some COVID deaths?
Yeah, I think one thing I always notice I don't like about him is he always wanting to blame it on somebody else. He never takes his actions and say it's his fault. Yeah. And I just don't. I can't remember who the doctor of the White House is, Fauci or whatever.
Yeah, Dr. Fauci.
Yeah. I think that was like a clown show back and forth in between them. This is a country. This is people's lives, and getting on there and talking smack to each other. It's one thing I don't like about politics. Yeah. Is the slander that goes on. Why don't we talk about what we can do to improve the country instead of saying, well, he was at a titty bar or,
Yeah, but Trump is promising to get the border under control, get all of these undocumented people out of the country, recover the economy, potentially end the Ukrainian-Russian conflict. You don't see where Trump might be the best choice?
No, I don't think. I think that he, I think there's better choices. I would vote for Nikki Haley. I just think that, I just don't think he's the person. I don't think Biden is either. I mean, it's nothing.
So are you gonna sit out this election? Because those are the only two options you're really gonna have. I mean, Kennedy, I guess, but
it looks like I'm gonna sit out back-to-back elections.
Wow. Wow.
I don't think he can win, but I mean, polls say a lot, but I don't think it really matters. They said he was winning last time, and he ended up losing.
Yeah. Well, he claims the election was stolen, though.
I don't buy that.
Wow.
I worked at the post office and all that. They found 40,000 ballots in a mailbox stored in a storage somewhere. I worked at the post office. They take the election very seriously. Then they have separate bins you put them in when you return from your mail route. And they take them right up till 8 o'clock, and then they have people drive them over to the election site. There's no storing of mail. That's all rhetoric, conspiracy theories.
Wow. All right, Richard, I do got to move it on. So right. You are a conservative, but no chance you're voting for Trump this time.
Not this time.
All right.
But hey, I watch you all the time, and I hope you have a wonderful day.
Absolute. Thank you. The sentiments are the same. Moving the program on, folks. Slow news day. I just want to keep repeating. By the way, tap the screen. Get your boy on up to 30,000 on TikTok. 750 of you in here. Certainly, if you would show the program some love, let your thumbs not be lazy. Tap the screen, get the likes on up. On YouTube as well, feel free to smash that like button. We don't block, ban, or censor anyone. I want to say thank you for that crane there. It says Lena Mask. I think I'm reading that. Yeah, Star. Thank you for the hat and mustache. We don't block, ban, or censor anyone. So the program is all about free speech. Today is a slow news day. I understand Trump lost his immunity case down in Georgia. So that whole RICO case will be allowed to continue. But other than that, it's a fairly slow news day. So we're doing what we occasionally do, devil's advocate. I want to take the side of what's wrong with reelecting Trump. Many folks in this country, millions of Americans, are unhappy with what we have now, unhappy with the economy, unhappy with so many foreigners, undocumented, illegal, if you will, in this country, starting to commit crimes even to some point. We had a bunch of immigrants in New York, took over somebody's damn house and started selling drugs out of it. Firearms and all. Criminal history and all. No jail time for any of them. Held let go without any bond. A lot of folks are pissed off with what's going on under the Biden administration. So why not vote for President Trump? Chad with the very kind super chat. Chad4754. Thank you for showing the program some love. Thank you for your support. Nothing wrong with electing him, says Kevin O'Leary. That's what we're asking. So why are there so many folks not seeing the benefit of potentially putting Trump back in office? Talked about it before. Your retirement account's doing better. Not hearing about all of this Hamas, Palestinian, Israeli conflict, Ukraine versus Russia. We're knee deep in a proxy war with Russia. This wasn't happening under Trump. Why not put Trump back in? From a devil's advocate standpoint, I'm asking, why not re-elect Trump? Perhaps he might be the better choice. Looking in the comments, what does that say about future husband? Tell him. Lady B. Thank you. Lady B. Wow. Okay. All right. Let me go back to the box before I end up blushing too much here. Going straight to Lynn. Good afternoon. Welcome to the program. Why not Trump for a second term?
Hello, I couldn't hear you.
Okay. Now, what is the name there? Lynn?
Lynn, you can call me Lynn, Lynna.
Okay. Why not Trump?
Call me Lynn.
Yeah, Lynn, why not re-elect Trump?
Well, actually, I'm on the opposite side. I want to re-elect Trump.
Okay. So why so many people are against him? 74 million voted for Trump, yet he has a hell of a lot of folks that don't like him. Why don't they like a guy who gave us a good economy?
They don't like him because they know the truth. They know a lot of people, it goes very deep, very down in a rabbit hole to where all the Hollywood elites, all the government officials, all of them, they know that he has a lot of information on him. They do not want him there. They do not want him to talk. They don't want him to be the big bad guy that tells the American people how it really is.
Well, I have to ask the obvious question, considering freedom of speech is a right we all have. Does he really have to be back in the White House to tell us what he knows on these people?
No, but in order to do it, in order to, he would need the help of the government officials.
Just to tell the truth?
Yeah, it's that deep.
Do you feel the government officials could be trusted to help him?
They wouldn't have a choice.
How so?
Well, I mean, if he's president, the government officials would have no choice but to, work underneath him.
Okay. Now, in the comments, I'm going to give you this comment, let you go where you want to go with it. Unfriend Until asked the question of why didn't he do that when he was in office the first time?
When did he have a chance?
What do you mean, when did he have a chance?
He was too busy making peace with other countries.
Yeah, but Trump took vacations just like every other president. He played golf.
Yeah, but he also made peace.
Yeah, but why wouldn't he, as opposed to taking vacations like every other president, why not let the American people know what they need to know? There was time to do that.
But he did let people know.
How so?
He did. About the children. His whole slogan was "Save the Children."
Okay. What do you mean he let us know about the children? Give me an example.
The sex trafficking.
Who participated in it? What did he give us? Who did he out? Like, he let us know. We all know sex.
Hollywood.
Huh?
All of Hollywood.
Give me some characters. Give me some names.
Well, let's say Diddy. Diddy's one. He's up. Prince Harry, he's one. Oprah Winfrey, she's another one. Prince Harry left the royal, palace because they wanted to get out. A personal friend of mine, Mark Wahlberg, left Hollywood because of he didn't want his children in that situation.
So wait a minute. So I'm trying to make sure I get clarity here. So you're saying that President Trump, he did warn us about sex trafficking in Hollywood and things like that, and he let us know that Diddy, Prince Harry, and Oprah was doing this?
Right.
I don't know. What speech? When did he say? I don't remember him ever having a speech and saying that, though. I don't remember that.
You gotta go down the rabbit hole.
Yeah. Okay. I would love to see that. Because it seemed like that would have been really big news if Trump had came out and suggested that Oprah Winfrey was trafficking children.
Oh, it was on the news. I mean, not that the news is real news, but
I don't think there's any news that would. I mean, even the most liberal of outlets, if the president is accusing a major superstar of trafficking children, you got to cover that. You can't hide that.
but if you even really think about it, everybody hung out with him
Okay.
until he ran for president.
I don't disagree with that, but the part about him letting us know that Diddy, Prince Harry, and Oprah were trafficking children, I don't recall that being major news during his term at all.
Well, you gotta look it up.
Okay.
It's on the news channels. It's on the Google. All you gotta do is look it up. I mean, it's not hard.
Okay, fair enough. I certainly would love, if you would, send me what you have, because I'd love to see that. I haven't, many folks in the audience are saying that they have not heard that either. Any idea why Oprah Winfrey is still considered a fairly well-respected person if Trump suggested that she was involved in abuse of children?
I have no idea about that.
Okay. All right, so go ahead.
But I do know that Prince William's wife is missing.
Oh.
They say that she's not, but then TikTok says she is, and then they'll also say that she's missing. They put out a photo.
Now, hang on. I got to interrupt you and say on YouTube, Trump, someone with the name of Trump Girl, obviously MAGA, is saying that you're incorrect, that this woman is not missing. Check out her girl school in Africa. Says Kate is not missing. So someone is saying that what you're saying is inaccurate.
Mm-mm. No.
So you're adamant she is missing right now.
She's missing.
Okay. All right, fair enough. I do got to move it on, though, Lynn. Appreciate you coming on. Always welcome back. Anytime, come on back.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Moving the program on. Understand, folks, I see in the comment section going absolutely ape shit, which happens. Understand, folks, we go left of Bernie Sanders to him having dinner with QAnon. We may have done that just a moment ago, but understand we do believe in uncensored free speech. So while you may not agree with all of the opinions of guests featured here, we do believe in letting folks state their cases. So it is what it is. Looking in the comments, though, real briefly, MAGA are my preferred guests because they are so stupid and entertaining. Tim, also known as a handsome liberal. Red, be kind. Wow. That is ridiculous. Look, I do believe in letting people speak. Nevertheless, I see Stick the Ruler, friend of the program. Certainly going to go to you next, Stick, because I see you use all of those symbols there. When we see those symbols pop up, it does attract attention. So we're going to go to you next, Stick, with the what the fuck symbols. Wow. But look, the lady is allowed to speak. She will be in line to vote right next to you and I. She has a right to speak. Real quick, I cannot pronounce that. Thank you for the super chat, though. Siripiti? I cannot pronounce that. Project 2025. And he would continue the war on Palestine. Wow. We won't, I bet yet we don't only have two choices. RFK Jr., who is also pro-war, I did not know that. Jill Stein on track to secure ballot access in all 50 states. Only anti-war candidate. Jill Stein, the only anti-war candidate, says one of my viewers on YouTube. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. You know, Jill Stein, many would suggest is responsible for hurting Hillary Clinton in the 2016 election. Any of you folks out there, because he stated Jill Stein is the only anti-war candidate on the ballot. Even RFK, and I don't know how many folks have stated that they would support RFK, but Jill Stein, do I have any Jill Stein supporters? State your case. I haven't heard anyone promoting Jill Stein, but she is running, and he's stating that will be likely on all 50 states. I don't know. I don't know, but there may be enough supporters to interfere with victories in states when it comes down to a few votes. Why shouldn't we support Trump? That's the question. Devil's Advocate, Slow News Day. Playing from a devil's advocate role. Why shouldn't we support Trump? The economy was doing very well. The jobs numbers at the time were historic. Paying for gas, you could afford it. Paying for groceries, no problem at all. There was not all of these cases of nuts around the world starting wars. It was a fairly smooth time in America, 2017 to 2021. Plus or minus a few race riots. But why not bring Trump back? Going straight to the box. We'll keep it moving with the one and only Stick the Ruler. Did see you in the comments. AI is the only, artificial intelligence is the only one to take the president position because, and it broke up there. Stick, good afternoon.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
How you doing?
Why not Trump?
Yeah, that was, okay, before we even get to that, please let me just say that I really wasn't trying to get your attention. I actually was asking myself that many times, what the hell was that? I promise you, I was not trying to spam. I was actually saying, what in the hell was that? So, why not Trump? Yeah, Trump is not that guy. He's shown us time and time again that he's not the guy to count on to turn the country around.
But wait a minute, Trump showed us 3.5% unemployment. Is that not an accolade? Is that not? I mean, Trump showed us a good economy.
I was saying, just like any other caller would get up here and tell you that it was inherited and all he had to do was go golfing, which he did. He went golfing 344 days, damn near a whole year. So, yeah, Trump, as far as his accolades really don't belong to him. He just gets to get them and share them because that's just who we are in the sense of honest people.
But is that not okay? I gotta push back, Stick. Is that not unfair? Is that not unfair to President Trump? Okay, he inherits a good economy from Obama. I don't disagree with that. But during his time, he did not destroy the economy, which he easily could have. He could have passed policies that hurt our economy, but yet the economy continued getting better under him. If he destroyed the economy, if he hurt the economy, we would all be the first to criticize him for doing so. But he maintains the economy. He gets no credit. It only goes to Obama. How is that fair?
I would just say it's fair because the person that put in the work should get the credit and the credit only. So at the end of the day, like right now, even though that MAGA that really doesn't know who and what tax policy that we're under, some will say, oh yeah, we're still under Trump's taxes and blah, blah, blah. And some will say it's Biden's fault that everything looks like this with the taxes. And not knowing that the tax credits for especially the middle class won't expire till next year. And for the wealthy, it's permanent. So at the end of the day, like he really did, like the last conversation me and you had, I told you, he really did not help anybody in America but the filthy rich.
Yeah, but based on what you were saying, yeah, but based on what
I understand why the rich would vote for him.
Yeah, but based on what you're saying, with Obama giving Trump a good economy, and you giving Obama credit for the economy while Trump was president, but admitting if Trump destroyed the economy, you would credit him for destroying the economy. That means the only grade Trump could get is a bad one. Any good economy, you're going to get that to Obama. But if he destroys it, he gets credit for it. I don't see how that's fair when the only grade he can get is bad.
Well, that's how I feel about Obama. You know, they will tell you up and down that Obama wasn't a good president, but in actuality, what he inherited wasn't his fault, but he turned it all the way around.
Okay.
So when you turn something all the way around and it keeps going good, is that really because the other guy just came in and took his seat? Or is it because his policies were so good that they kept going and his economy kept growing because of his policies? I mean, the guest you had earlier, his name was Common Sense. He said a lot of things that were just common sense. Look, I did like how the country was ran under Trump only because of the way it was already. He didn't have to do anything. He didn't have to touch anything. He didn't have to come up with any policies to fix the economy. It was already fixed. It was already on the up and up. And he caught that good surfing wave of blue. He caught the blue wave. That was the blue wave. The economy was doing so great under Obama that nobody really could say anything but that he wore a tan suit.
Well, you mentioned, and I've seen that is funny. I've seen that with I can't think of the guy who used to host the Daily Show, the South African guy, but that actually is a funny montage. But let me ask you this. Now, this is coming from Johnny on YouTube. Says, now this is giving credit to Trump, and I want you to tell me why it isn't true. He helped entrepreneurs. Your average person could create a way easier. Today, you need to take a corporate job because you will never compete. Under Trump, folks who wanted to get into a small business, things were better for them. Also, Alex asked, what the hell did Obama do for black people?
Obama was not the president of black people. He was the president of the United States and its people, which is all the people. So he couldn't just help black folks. Now, I know y'all, some white folks and some black folks will say, well, white folks do it all the time. They help each other. But I'm just saying, we're not them. I mean, even Spartacus, if anybody knows who Spartacus is, one thing he did not want to be was confused with the Romans. So at the end of the day, we don't want to be confused with the Romans. Like Michelle Obama said, when they go low, we go high. So every time they went low, we kind of just we seen it, but being that we didn't have any power, it was really nothing we could do about it. We did what we had to do to keep it moving. Now, they want us to keep doing that, but we're not on that no more. Now it's okay. The newer generation, I would say, is on, no, you said this, we want this. I'm not getting out there breaking my back. You gonna give it to me, if anything. I mean, the difference between LeBron and Jordan, you see how LeBron will flop. Jordan ain't never flop. Jordan ain't never flop.
No, they weren't doing that as much back then. But in regards to Obama, though, in the comments, I think it says Eppolito says Obama created division, and it continues through today. During his third term, I'm assuming he's suggesting that Obama is still in office, but he's saying that Obama was the one that started division in his first two terms, and he says it continues right now under Trump, under Obama's third term. And in continuing that, Eddie Nichols says Obama started racism. Miss Nicole says Obama says he's against reparations for Black Americans. There's a lot of anti-Obama sentiment. Why do you think that is? How many years is it since he left office? 2016 and now? Wow.
It's called jealousy, man. Like that's why Trump is in office. Well, got in office after him, because guess what? We don't want a woman, regardless of whether she's white or black or Latino or Indian or whatever. We don't want a woman, period. But at the same time, guess what we do want? We do want that heterosexual white male. So at the end of the day, they got what they wanted and they was happy with it. And then on top of that, he was so-called rich. It's kind of like, oh yeah, this is perfect. He's rich. People love him. His wife is a model, and this is the look that we need. They want to be older all over again. I just told you that the other day. They want to be older. They want to be the alpha betas. They want to be those big guys that's in charge and tell the women what to do and what not to do, what to wear, what not to wear, when to have a baby, when not to have a baby. You know, you can't travel this road to go to another state if you want an abortion. So it's a.
So, but what about the notion that people just want a strong alpha male businessman to run this country?
But he's okay. I get it if you want a businessman that is a good businessman that actually made some money, that actually had like super tremendous profits without having to grift and steal from people. That's one thing. But Donald Trump, he's just a grifting con artist. He's Don the con. I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
Then if he's such a if he is such a grifting con artist, I do got to move it on. But if he is such a bad person as you're painting out, why the hell did so many black folks, celebrities? Trump was favored by everybody until he ran for president. Are they just trying to take this man out because they don't want him back in there?
No, I think that he's not good for the country, and everybody knows it, and everybody's trying to make sure that that word gets out there, that he's just not good for the country, man. I mean, he wasn't good for his businesses that he got bankrupt. He hasn't been good for any of his wives that he cheated on. He hasn't been good for his children, telling them that the one thing that they have in common is sex. Like, come on, man. It's just certain things that you just don't do. It's certain things that I feel like if you have morals, you would not vote for a person like that. I mean, it's just those things right there is why there's never Trumpers.
Wow. All right, I got to move it on, Stick.
Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of that? No, I'm saying, have you ever heard of that before Donald Trump, though? Have you ever heard of a never Obama? Or a never Biden, goddamn? Or never Bush? Or never Reagan?
No.
You've never heard that till this man gets on the scene.
I hadn't,
wait for a photo op.
Yeah, I hadn't heard much about rhinos either before he came along, but I do got to move it on. You are right. I had never heard of any of that. Appreciate it.
So this is what we're dealing with, and you have a good day, sir.
Well said, Stick. Thank you for coming through. Looking in the comments, that's what we're asking today. I'm getting opinions from both sides of the aisle, but it's a slow news day. So from a devil's advocate standpoint, why the hell shouldn't we support Trump? What's wrong with putting Trump back in office? Folks are looking at Biden. Even Democrats are suggesting that that is not the best choice. They're not the best person to put forth for the Democratic presidential nominee. Why not somebody else? Even among Democrats, the love for Biden is substantially lower than the love for Trump from Republicans. His own party not favoring him. Many would suggest he looks frail, kind of looks out of it when he's on stage. Why not put Trump in where everyone feels like he is at least within his faculties, has a history of running the country fairly well economically? There were not many global affairs under President Trump, and we could afford goods and services. Why not Trump? What would be so bad if Trump was back in office? What say you? Looking in the comments, Trump was a racist celebrity, says Eddie Stacy. Yikes. How was President Trump a racist celebrity? And if he was, why was he so damn popular, even with African Americans? I don't know. I'd have to hear you elaborate on that. How many people associated with Donald J. Trump that are in prison or lost their livelihood? There is a significant number of folks that was in Trump's inner circle that have now become within the criminal justice system. But many folks would suggest that in effort to prevent Trump from rising to power again, the Department of Justice, the powers that be in this country, have become weaponized so that anybody that favors Trump could find themselves in trouble, meaning that it is not necessarily being done in a fair way. That is what the answer to that question is, coming from the opposition. Looking in the comments before we go back to the box, and I see in the comments, Chris, I believe that is, says that is not true. Perhaps, but that is what's happening, is that many folks that have been in Trump's inner circle have indeed been arrested or even done time. Going back to the box, tap the screen. Got over 700 still rolling with your boy. This is indeed civilized dialogue from both sides of the aisle. We don't block, ban, or censor anyone. You don't have to agree with anyone on the program in the comment section or even the damn host. Never about telling you how you should think. It's all about what you should say. So if we have a difference of opinion, who gives a damn? You're entitled to your own free speech, and it will be observed here. Tap the screen, certainly on YouTube. Feel free to smash that like button. Get your boy on up on YouTube. I believe on YouTube you got to hold down the like button or whatever to get it a little bit up. Julio, you have 3 days to cross the border. What the hell does that mean? Trump kept us out of wars, where Biden got us involved in 3 conflicts at the same time. I think there's a song that talks about 3 at the same time. So, at the end of the day, why not Trump? We didn't have a bunch of conflicts going on, but yet under Trump, folks are suggesting he wasn't running the country right. Folks can barely afford groceries under Biden, if you ask many folks. Why not reelect Trump? That's what we're asking. Going back to the box, the name is I Run With Scissors. Damn. Okay, fair enough. You run with scissors, but who would you vote for? Wow. I Run With Scissors. Good afternoon.
How are you?
I'm doing good. Why not Trump again? Why shouldn't we vote for Trump?
Well, you know what? So I mean, there's a couple things, right? Like some of them you were just getting finished talking about. Which is a lot of his former cabinet members are like, don't let that guy anywhere near the Oval Office again, right?
Right.
So I think we have to kind of listen to that. I know MAGA will say, well, those guys betrayed him, but he hired them, right? So you can't say that every single one of those. Majority of them are saying don't let him near the office.
Yeah.
So you can't say all of them are completely crazy, and if you do say that, then you have to say, look at the guy who hired the crazies, right? Did he hire that many crazies? So I think that's one of the things. The other thing is like, you and your previous caller was right. Like he didn't really turn a bad trend good on anything in the economy. He did continue, to his credit, the good economy that was inherited, right? So the trend for black unemployment was trending down when he came into office, and it continued to trend down to his credit. Of course, I think we all agree that he flopped on his COVID response. And it's hard to, say that somebody else also, wouldn't flop on that. But the fact that, he didn't, again, he just didn't turn any negative trends positive. He just kept positive trends going in the
Well, I gotta push back, even though it's a devil's advocate day. Gertz is suggesting Trump did not change any trends. How about reaching out to the likes of Kim Jong-un, reaching out to Vladimir Putin, whereas before we have always kept ourselves one step away from some form of war with these folks. Trump, trying to make peace, reached out to some of our adversaries. Is that not changing the trend?
I mean, there was some activity that he did that was different, but it didn't produce any actual results. Like the activity that he did with Kim Jong-un, he walked over there and he had a summit, but he didn't walk out with any signatures. Like nothing came of that. Right?
Yeah, but you say he didn't produce any actual results. When Trump was in office, the Ukraine and Russia were not at war. The moment Biden takes the reins, now we're dealing with a proxy war.
Well, they were there was separatist fighting in Ukraine before. They didn't do that full invasion. They of course didn't try and do that full invasion. But the separatists in the Donetsk region and Donbass, those guys were already going at it. So it's not as though conflict did not already exist in places. He did drone strikes. He killed Soleimani. You think that killing Soleimani put us on good terms with Iran and stuff? So you can't say that there was no conflict or no.
Yeah, but you're suggesting that Trump did not start any new trends. As Kevin O'Leary on YouTube states, Trump also collected more money owed to the United States than any other president. What about getting folks to meet their own defense budgets in regards to NATO? Did Trump not deserve credit for that?
No, you're right. That is one thing I think that he did shine a light on that needs to be recognized. That there does need to be that our countries do need to step up and you know, contribute their fair share. I don't think previous presidents were as tough as they could have been on countries in that regard. The main complaint today, because our economy is strong, the main complaint today is, you know, average people saying that grocery prices are up, right? That kind of residual inflation is not going back. It's not like reversing basically to bring grocery prices down to where it was, you know, 3 years ago or whatever. And that's a tough nut to crack. And
Yeah,
to be honest with you, I haven't. Hold on, let me just say, I don't see any economic plan from Trump that promises to reverse that. Like, he doesn't have an economic plan to bring grocery prices back down to where they were.
I can give you one right off the bat. If Trump gets in office, he has promised the largest deportation in history. He has promised to no longer continue funding the Ukraine. Just doing those two things alone, the expense of dealing with millions of immigrants and how much money we're spending in terms of equipment to fund and help the Ukrainians, would that alone not help this budget significantly?
No, I would disagree with that. So the immigrant, so the mass deportation exercise he's talking about is going to cost billions of dollars. Not only is it going to cost billions of dollars, but it's going to take people who are, albeit maybe here illegally, actually producing for our economy, doing jobs that are that if they are not doing anymore, will cause our economy to have more problems and not less problems. They will not be working in fields. They will not be working in restaurants. They will not be working on construction sites. That will harm our economy, not help it.
Now one of the questions everybody would like to know, I run with scissors, is what good is the law if you're not going to enforce it? There is a law that states if you come into this country without proper documentation, you're committing a crime. What good is having that law if someone like Biden is not even going to enforce it?
I have looked at this, and it looks like there's not been a huge amount of difference between the policies that Biden implemented and what he's done and what Trump has done. The main difference has been the number of people who've been moving north or moving towards the United States. Not so much that the policies are vastly different. Remember, Trump tried to implement some policies that the Supreme Court and other courts blocked. And so Biden can't just unilaterally go and make those and try and do that same thing. You know, he has been tougher on the asylum piece, basically saying that if you're in another country before you're in the United States, you need to seek your asylum there. He did end that Title 42, but remember, that was a federal COVID mandate.
Yeah, but it could have been extended. COVID hasn't went away. Biden could have easily extended Trump's Remain in Mexico policy. Is that not a flaw of the Biden administration?
Well, if we're speaking for MAGA here, I thought federal mandates were a bad thing.
Okay, I agree. I hear you.
Right.
I hear you. But on the liberal side of the aisle, they favor federal mandates. Is this something that Biden can look back on and say it's a good thing I removed Trump's Remain in Mexico policy? Do you think that was a good thing for Biden to do?
I think it has its negatives and positives. One of the things that canceling Title 42 allowed him to do is to, when illegals were captured, they would actually document them and then send them back. Whereas prior to 42, they wouldn't do that. They would just immediately put them back into Mexico and not capture their name and stuff like that. So you would never know who you had or if they came back again. So after 42 was canceled, they did start doing that. Did start capturing names. They did start like capturing repeat offenders and saying you're getting in trouble. Remember, crossing the border illegally is a misdemeanor. If you claim asylum, it's not a crime. And you are here under an asylum.
Yeah, but you couldn't come here and claim asylum under the Trump administration. He had the COVID policy in place that Biden could have extended. Let me just ask you this before I from you. Let me ask you this question strictly on the border, since we're discussing that. If your main focus was on protecting the U.S. border, and that you were a single issue voter, and that was your main concern, who would you vote for between Trump and Biden?
Biden, only because my position is we need to do this intelligently and with compassion, and I think that's the main thing that we lack with Trump's policy. Is he's always stupid and strong. I want smart and strong. I want a policy that's based on the needs economically that we have in the United States for foreign labor. I want it based on compassion of what this country stands for, and I want it based on a program that we can improve on for seeking asylum, so that people aren't waiting years to be adjudicated for their asylum, so that it's not this basically you get here, you claim asylum, and you're in. It should be more defined. It should be clear that it's going to happen within like a few days and not a few years, so that just doesn't become an excuse for more and more people to come and get lost in this system where they may or may not show up and then eventually end up not getting it, and then what do we do with them? Yeah. Right? By then they've got families here.
Yeah, but I think that could happen. I think that could happen no matter what. But I do got to move it on. Running with Scissors. Always love that name. Appreciate you coming through.
Life is a calculated risk, my friend, and that's why Running with Scissors is one of them.
All right. Don't cross the border. Not cross the border with scissors. Real quick, though. Now, my last caller suggested securing the border with compassion. I don't know. That's challenging considering the nature of some folks crossing the border. If you're too compassionate, there's a phrase some folks would suggest, taking your kindness for weakness. If you're too compassionate, I mean, do you really want to be compassionate to MS-13, cartel members? I don't know. That could be taken advantage of. So asking that question, Devil's Advocate Thursday, slow news day. Other than Trump failing to secure his immunity plea down in Georgia, he lost that today. That came in, but we're taking it from a slow news day and taking a devil's advocate stance. Why not vote for Trump? What would be wrong with re-electing Trump? A lot of things folks in this country favored. Many folks were quite happy with the economy. Whether you believe he inherited it from Obama or not, the economy was going very well under Trump as well. You can't re-elect Obama, but you can re-elect someone who managed a good economy. Why not re-elect Trump over Biden, get our border under control, perhaps get us out of some of these military conflicts that are going around the world, and go back to enjoying life without all the financial worry? What say you? Tap the screen. Almost 900 of you in here. Get your guy on up to 60,000 likes on TikTok. Feel free to smash that like button on YouTube. As always, civilized dialogue from both sides of the aisle. We don't block, ban, or censor anyone. So it doesn't matter what your opinion is or how you feel about anyone else, including yours truly. You will always be allowed to speak here because the First Amendment reigns supreme. Program is, always will remain MAGA friendly. MAGA are my preferred guests, but liberals are welcome as well. Americans have no memory of where we were 4 years ago. Nobody had jobs because the country was shut down and 1 million Americans died because he mishandled the virus. How many of you folks believe President Trump has COVID deaths on his hand because you believe he mishandled the pandemic? How many of you folks believe that President Trump himself is specifically responsible for the deaths of Americans because of his handling of the pandemic? I'd be curious to see that in the comments. If y'all could commit to anything, you would have had your way on January 6th. Wow. All right, looking in the comments, and I see Kevin O'Leary, as always, friend of the program, says, no, Trump does not have any COVID deaths on his hands. Who exactly benefited from COVID? Wow. People who sold masks, people who sold hand sanitizer, people who sold computers because everybody's working from home, any type of equipment you would need to run a home office. I'm sure they saw an uptick in purchasing. DoorDash, Grubhub, Uber Eats. I do videos on rideshare content. They benefited tremendously from COVID because everybody started ordering shit at home to not go out. So there's a lot of folks who benefited from COVID, at least in the realm of financially. So looking in the comments, Trump was worried about his reelection. I agree with that. Trump didn't want to shut the country down because his number one claim to fame was a strong economy. Shutting the country down would hurt the economy. So even though medical advisors were suggesting that Trump shut the country down during the pandemic, he was hesitant to do it because of his economy, because of his economy successes, and he didn't want to enter the 2020 election with a bad economy. So do agree with that. Looking in the comments section, we're doing it from a devil's advocate standpoint. Why should we not go back to President Trump? What would be wrong with re-electing President Trump? Going to the one and only Andy. Good afternoon. Welcome to the program, Andy. What's wrong with bringing back President Trump?
Because Republicans run around here talking about ending women's right to vote.
Wow. Where'd you hear that at?
That was on that young kid that interviews Trump supporters at rallies, Jake. Not only did your guest say it, it's getting to be loud everywhere. And the governor of North Carolina said it. So, no, women, don't vote to eradicate your own ability to vote. Don't do that.
I've had a lot of shows. That is worthy of a show in itself. You're suggesting that Republicans, and I do see in the comments, we have had folks think Gen X is a friend of the program. He comes on the show regularly. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he also believes women, he's MAGA, he believes women should not have the right to vote as well. But you're saying that is a movement that is growing legs in the Republican Party, that women should not be allowed to vote.
Yep, sure is.
Wow.
Right? Christian males. That's what the young kid said.
Why do you think they would be?
Gen X's problem is, I think he just wants to be annoying. But the kid said that.
But you are, considering you're in Alabama, we've talked numerous times before. Why do you think, in your opinion, why would Republican men, as you stated, would be trying to take away women's right to vote? What is the goal?
Control. Because right now on the docket, birth control's on the docket.
Yeah.
And even saving a woman's life, if she has to go to the emergency room and needs emergency care, if these red states have to give it to her. How would you like to know that your life was literally sitting on the Supreme Court docket, could be decided with a yes or no, up or down vote?
So how do you respond to folks? I got individuals on YouTube saying that, listen, President Trump himself has never stated he wants to take away a woman's right to vote or choose. How do you respond to that?
But the candidate he endorsed did. The guy from North Carolina, he endorsed him.
Yeah. So he's not doing it, but he's putting.
You own them. You own their policies.
Yeah. Do you think President Trump, if it came down to it, though, would support taking away a woman's right to vote?
Oh yeah. Have you not ever heard what he said about his first wife? He liked her till she was a business person. Working in the office makes women ugly and mean, and he didn't like that.
Damn. So you do believe they're trying to take them back to the 1950s or even earlier? Wow. Well, they could vote in 1950, 1920s. Wow. I don't know. I got it. Now you
kick that football all the way back.
You've certainly given me some homework. I have not heard too many folks, other than a few of my programs, suggesting that women should not have a right to vote. So I'm going to assume you would also agree, because I've had folks in the program suggest that the Republican Party would be against a female president as well.
Well, yeah.
If they don't want them to vote.
Why do you think they clamor so much about the female vice president? I'm pretty sure that Donald Trump will turn on RFK Jr. pretty soon for doing that too.
Wow. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he is going with the billion or the very wealthy woman there for VP. Mm-hmm. Well, I don't think RFK is going to really gain a lot of ground though. And as long as RFK has recently been in the news attacking Biden, as long as he don't attack Trump, I think he'll be okay. In fact, it's probably
better approval rating than Trump.
Yeah, but he's not going to attack Trump. He's smart enough not to do that. He was asked by I forget who he was.
They get their money from the same place.
Oh.
Go look into that.
Well, they probably believe that RFK is a threat to Biden. That's why they're funding him. Just like liberals were funding Nikki Haley at one point.
True.
Yeah.
But I do think that a lot of them don't realize how many beloved MAGA have peeled off from the party. Because you're not seeing all these videos of Republicans leaving the party. They're not going to vote for Donald Trump.
Yeah, but we got some.
They'll probably vote for RFK Jr.
Yeah, but there's liberals that lead Democratic parties. Well, I mean, there's liberals that don't like Biden.
I'm
I mean,
saying there's not, but I'm just saying that, you know, I'm seeing more and more of these videos come out. It's just something that I thought I'd bring up.
Okay. Well, I got to ask you the same question I often ask you, you know, because there's always new viewers watching the program. What you, and you've came up with a different aspect. We've talked about abortion and the notion that Republicans are supposedly removing women's rights to choose, but now you're talking about potentially taking away their right to vote. So I have to ask you the question I often ask you. If the Republicans are so anti-woman, why are there so many females that identify as MAGA? There's by the way, in the comments.
A lot of these women haven't heard the new rhetoric if they don't want them to vote. And the other women are old and past the age of being able to have children. And then there's some women who are young that don't realize that they're signing away their rights forever.
Forever. Wow. Let me ask that just in the comments real quick.
Trump took the Equal Rights Amendment and stuck it in the courts because it had an unconstitutional preamble on it. He was trying to get rid of it because of that. But yet the Supreme Court reached back 203 years to ratify an amendment to give themselves a raise.
I'm not seeing, even when you watch liberal media, some of the things you're saying, Andy, particularly with Republicans trying to take away women's right to vote. I haven't seen that. I'd like for you to send that to me in the.
Well, I mean, I'll send you the people that I've seen in the. But I mean, it is a new thing that is popping up at MAGA rallies. I mean, they didn't believe in. We talked about Project 2025 a long time before the news picked it up. Remember?
True. We've talked about that a while. That was a while back. But somebody in the comments is even saying that's a lie. That's just another lie. That Republicans.
You're going to look up that Trump shelved the ERA. I mean, it's not like it's not news. It happened in 2020. Women know. I mean, they can sit there and say I'm lying all they want to, but everything that I'm saying is checkable.
Well, I'm just saying, Andy. There's a lot of in the comments, folks. Where's my female MAGA? I just want to see if you're. I'd be curious because there's women, Andy, in your state, Alabama. I believe.
Look, the church tells them that you shall obey the man. They believe that crap. You
shall obey the man. Damn.
Oh, it's a lot to do with the church. It is.
Well, shit. If the church says you shall obey the man, and women in Republican environments are willing to do so, shit.
Well, they can do so, but they don't have to make all of us do so. This is America. We are all supposed to have our rights to, live our lives the way we want to. Free, religion's supposed to be protected, but we're supposed to be protected from religion too. You shouldn't be able to force your religion down my throat.
I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. In the comments on YouTube, someone in response to what you said, women for Trump is like chickens for foxes and Palestine for Israel. Wow. Okay. Chickens for foxes. Okay. All right, Andy, you scare me every time we talk.
For raid.
Huh?
I tend to say roaches for raid.
I gotta go. All right, Andy. Appreciate you coming in. You scare me every time we talk. Thank you. Moving the program. Women losing the right to vote. Wow. Is there some validity to that where the Republicans, now this is down, obviously not Trump. Trump is never going to get on television and say he supports women not having the right to vote. But as my last caller suggested, if Trump is endorsing candidates that are openly saying it, I'd like to see some evidence of that. I have not heard that. I see in the comments, Duke says not at all, but I also see, I can't see, what is it, says Wade or Watt says it is valid. Wow. Explain why Democrats are moving to red states. They don't like some of the problems that are in Democratic states. Now, understand, they're moving, Californians, for instance, moving to Texas, moving to Georgia, or moving to Florida. It does happen. But it's not like every red state is doing well and people in blue states say, ain't nobody trying to move to Mississippi. I don't hear about a whole lot of people moving to Louisiana. So I don't want to get into the notion that, well, red states are being ran properly and blue states suck. There's a lot of poverty in red states. It's a lot of poverty there. And you're not guaranteed to escape crime either. St. Louis, Memphis. I mean, there's a lot of crime. New Orleans, I mean, period. So, but there are places that are in the under Republican control, red states, that are desirable places to move. I think Ron DeSantis economically is doing a very good job in Florida. A lot of folks are seeing Florida as the place to go, but it's driving up the cost of property in that state astronomically. So that may change soon. But Florida is one place that the Republicans, and Texas too, Houston gets a lot of folks, but all of that shit in between Florida and between Texas, ain't nobody moving there. Ain't nobody moving to West Virginia. I mean, there's a hell of a lot of red states. People ain't nobody trying to get to Kentucky like that. So it works both ways. Looking in the comments, I'm in the middle. What does that say? I'm middle right in most issues, mostly need a strong leader for our country's protection. I like that comment there, but is Trump that person? That's what we're asking. That's what we are asking. Is President Trump the better choice? Why not reelect him? Folks still continue to suggest the Biden economy, regardless of what political analysts are saying, no matter where you go, the analysts, in terms of judging and grading the economy, are suggesting that the Biden economy is doing pretty good. But when it comes to us citizens, the voting constituents, perception is reality. You go to the grocery store and things cost 30-40% more. Damn, what the analyst is saying, I can't afford what the cashier is telling me. And that is more reflective of how Americans feel versus what Neil Cavuto or someone may say on television. Same with purchasing a home, purchasing a car. It costs more to do that stuff under Biden than it did under Trump. So I'm asking, why not reelect Trump? This is the devil's advocate day. Taking the other side, asking, why not Trump? What would be so wrong with putting Trump back in there? We weren't dealing with proxy wars taking place, where we're now siding with Israel over the Palestinians and Hamas, siding with the Ukraine over Russia, while simultaneously letting in thousands, if not millions, of unvetted, undocumented immigrants, which could certainly leave us open to a major terrorist attack. With both of these conflicts going on, Russia and Israel, we're creating enemies. There's a hell of a lot of folks that do not like the fact that Biden and America is currently the only country on the globe that supports what Israel is doing right now. We are the lone holdout. If I'm correct, there is not another country on earth that does not believe Israel should engage in a ceasefire. We are the lone holdout that is continuing to support them, even though they're not doing that. Is that not potentially something that could create a host of new enemies for America at a time while we're letting a bunch of unvetted folks in the country? So I'm asking, why not support Trump? He may get us away from all of this crap. Looking in the comments, Biden wants a ceasefire, but he's continuing to support Trump. He's continuing to support Israel. So that is an issue. Hang on real quick before I go back to the program. I have got to respond to something somebody just sent me, and I'm trying to do that. Where the hell does it go? Make sure you don't kiss. Okay, I'll just type in okay. All right, going back to the program. Sorry about the interruption there on TikTok. So, Mr. Handsome, there's a lot of information floating around, but also a lot of misinformation. That is true. That is always true. Continuing on in the comments section, why not President Trump again? Stacy Frank. Good afternoon. Welcome to the program. Stacy, are you there? Stacy, are you there? All right. Apparently, Stacy is busy or something of that nature. We'll continue on. Soul Buster, why not President Trump? Why not get a guy a second chance? Folks believe he was running the country better than what we have right now. Soul Buster, good afternoon.
Hey, Tim. Good afternoon, Tim. How you doing, my brother?
I'm doing great. Why not number 45? Why not make him number 47?
In the words of one of my famous artists, hell to the no. That's Bishop Bullwinker.
What's so bad though? I mean, the economy was doing pretty well under Trump.
The economy, and Tim, why do we have to keep rehashing this garbage, man? We understood what went on during Trump's time in office. He inherited an economy that Obama had already had to dig us out from under doggone Bush. Remember, going all the way back, every time we get a Republican in the office, a Democrat have to come and bail their BS out. Reagan, okay? We had Clinton had to come in, okay? Bush's, we had to have Obama to come in. Trump, we had to have Biden to come in. This crap keeps going on and on and on, you know? And we keep falling for this BS. You know, my thing is this, Tim, and you know this, being a veteran. We have never, ever, Tim, as long as I can remember, and I'm 70.
Let me interrupt you, just to make sure clarity. I've never served. I'm not a veteran.
Oh, I thought you served, Tim.
No.
I apologize.
No.
Well, I thought you said that you were in the military.
No.
All right, okay, going back. And I can remember, Tim, as long as I can remember, we've always had conflict somewhere. And if we have not had the conflict, they were doggone paper conflicts at odds. The issues that we are facing now, Trump wouldn't have stopped this. That particular area of the world has been fighting since biblical time, and they're going to continue to fight because one doggone aspect claimed that their fathers, Abraham and Isaac and Jacob and all of them going back, that land was given to them, and that propagation continues to escalate.
But you're saying they've been fighting since biblical time, which is true, but we got to look at the Trump years. They didn't fight during his time. Many folks suggest Trump was a strong leader. They wouldn't put up with the bullshit, and they backed down. The minute Biden takes office, we get into all of this melee.
Hey, Tim, think about this bull crap. Come on now. And I know you're a very intelligent brother.
Thank you.
And I love you, bro, because you use this crap every day, man, to stir up the doggone maggots to get them coming out.
Wait a minute. What is a maggot? What is a maggot?
A maggot is a fested doggone parasite that comes from garbage, that finds itself multiplying, coming out of just pure nonsense. And this is what we're finding. You talk about putting Trump back into office again. And you already see now, there's two things I learned. You either live with a person or you work with a person to understand who that person is. We've had the opportunity to see Trump in his finest glory, and it's something that I'm not willing to take another chance on. Going all the way back from January 6th, even prior to that, he came in saying he was going to drain the swamp.
Yeah.
So evidently the swamp did not get drained. Look at all of the people that have been placed in incarceration due to the malness that he did while he was in office. So you're telling me he's such a great businessman. And I heard somebody say earlier that he has information that's going to come out, and he's going to bring that information out, and in other words, tell on some people. If you had information, tell it now so that you can sway people to your side. But that's another bunch of snake oil issues that he does. I know you remember Mr. Haney on Green Acres. Remember Mr. Haney would always come out with something out of the freaking wagon to sell. And it always was some kind of garbage. Look at this guy. You're telling me you are the supreme leader of the most powerful country in the world. You have to resort to selling steaks water, tennis shoes, now Bibles.
But let me say, hold on, hang on. Hold on, hang on. In regards to,
and your leader, Tim,
okay, wait a minute, but
Tim, you know better than that.
okay, hold on.
Look, snake oil, man.
Okay, let's have a conversation. You gotta let me get in here. The issue
I'm gonna let you talk, brother.
Okay, let's do that. So in regards to President Trump, as you say, snake oil salesman having the results of selling all this stuff, and you collecting coins all up in the place like it's Super Mario Brothers in here. But in regards to your suggestion that Trump got to sell things, what about the fact that people said we need a businessman? Yeah, he's good at selling. Maybe if America was good that way, we would all be profitable.
So Tim, you're gonna place a guy like Trump as a person that's gonna invest your money? When you're looking at failed businesses that he has once caused havoc. People have lost their business because he didn't pay them, because he want to use some doggone undercover way of taking them to court and then making them settle on pennies. If you are a man of integrity, Tim, you don't pull that kind of crap, man.
Wait.
You mean to tell me that's the way you want your leader to be, Tim?
He is a billionaire real estate mogul with a hell of a bunch of LLCs. Nobody at his level does not occasionally have a business fail. Yeah, he has a few bankruptcies. Most folks at that level have a few businesses that go belly up. He has his eye in the fire of so many different places. Some of them don't work. That's kind of what happens.
Yeah, some of them don't work. You're absolutely right. So I'm a billionaire, right, Tim? So I'm gonna go and ask you to go fund me because of all of these indictments that are brought against me, and I can't drum up the funds that I have in order to defend myself. Not only that, Tim, to keep delaying all of these charges that are brought against it. Now, that's your right. That is your right. Innocent until proven guilty. But Tim, if I am innocent, my brother, and you know this, I'm bringing all fire, smoke, and every doggone thing that I can bring at you and show you, hey, listen, let's bring this thing to the close right now. Here are my credentials. Here's my evidence. Here's where I am. But if you keep using these doggone tactics, well, he said it for himself, Tim. It's a two-tier justice system. And the American people are seeing exactly what it means. If you are of a YT nature, you're a male, and you say you have money, and you can say that, hey, listen, they can't touch me, I'm the Teflon Don. Whereas the same situation would happen to you, Tim, sitting in your automobile now having this beautiful life. If they had thought that you had some cocaine in your car, excuse me, TikTok, this is for information purposes only. Tim doesn't have it. Tim don't have none, so don't go busting. But I'm just saying, Tim, if you were selling illegal products and things, say out of your automobile, or you were running some form of illegal scandal, your ASS would be in jail, Tim.
Well, but Trump hasn't.
So no one in America, Tim, is above the law.
Trump has not. Trump ain't been convicted of a crime. You're moving too fast. You're accusing a man of something. He's not been convicted of any crime.
Okay, you're right. But the same people that are bringing the evidence against him, it's his own people. It's not Democrats that's bringing this stuff against him. It's Republicans, Tim. I can see if I'm the gang leader, all right, and all my boys are bringing the goods against me, you know it's going to be right. Because number one, the feds don't bring charges against you, Tim, unless they got you lock, stock, and barrel. Your ASS is grass and the feds is the lawnmower. You know that. Okay? They don't lose when they come to get you, my brother. So if we're looking at this situation and you want to put him back in office with the possibility of him trying to serve from some prison system or cell somewhere, and you said he's a good businessman, Tim? Now,
I gotta ask the people.
Listen. I'm gonna drop another 5 cents in the bus token because I almost got off at that stop, but I'm not ready to get off at that stop. If you look at inflation around the world, we're the lowest in the world, Tim. Gas in Hong Kong right now, if $13.40 a gallon, and we're crying about gas here. You look at some of the other countries. I remember back in 1960, I want to say 1970, Tim. I was in Germany. Gas at that time was $5 and something. It was $5
In the 60s?
Nobody. In the night, I was in the military from 1968 to 1971.
Wow.
I was in Germany. And the only way we were able to afford the gas is that the government, United States government, was giving us help along. I'm trying to think of the word because he got me all sweaty.
No, you good. Go ahead and make your point. I do got to move it on, but I'll give you your point.
Yeah, but I'm saying, Tim, we have never ever been at a point. My 401k is living live and living good, and I'm in good shape. I can eat what I want, I can go where I want, and I can do what I want. And the average American is doing the same thing. And I used the point a while back, Tim, with you, that I remember when my grandparents used to say that, hey, they had 10 cents a week, and how they bought food and grocery and also maintain a form of living. It happens because everything has a progression. The more you make, the more they're gonna charge you behind.
All right.
You know that.
I don't disagree with that. But I do got to move it on, though, man. I do got to move it on, though. Real quick.
Tim, my last point. Trump and democracy cannot stay in the same house. One's got to go. I'm betting on democracy.
Wow. All right. Wow. Okay, Soul Buster. I'm glad I brought you up. Appreciate you coming through. Damn, that was a hell of an ass kicking. And sometimes you really have to look back. And I see in the comments, a lot of folks were certainly rooting for my last caller. Big Rooster Show on YouTube. Thank you for the super chat. States, Tim, bring this man back every day. A lot of folks favorite my last caller. Thank you, Big Rooster. Wow. Wow, that was hard. I'm trying to maintain my devil's advocate side. Wow, that was rough. That was rough. Okay, I see somebody said he cooked you. Yikes. Constitutional Republic. Wow, there's a hell of a galaxy. Semi. Thank you. Appreciate that, Galaxy Semi. Absolutely. Great caller schooled you. Learn from him, says user 9694. Devil's Advocate Thursday, short news day, slow news day. Why should we not bring back President Trump? My last guest had a lot of reasons for why that wouldn't be a good idea. But there's a lot of Americans that believe he would be a better commander-in-chief than what we have now. Seeing Biden on television constantly stuttering, slurring his words, folks suggest that Biden may not even be reliable to be an effective leader for 4 more years, leaving office at the age of 86 in 2028. Is that the guy we should pick, or should we really consider Trump? Seems to be within his faculty. Certainly able to host rallies all over the country, able to stay busy, able to multitask in comparison to President Biden. Why not Trump? Why not re-elect President Trump? Going back to the box after such a really hard-ass whipping, Ginger Beard, good afternoon. Welcome to the program. Ginger, why not Trump?
I'm all for Trump.
Did you hear my last guess?
What was that?
Did you hear my last guess?
No, I just came in. I must have just came in when they got out
Okay. Well, my last guest was suggesting that you got a loud background, by the way. I don't know if you got your windows down or whatever, but my last guest was suggesting that the economy is very strong under Biden, despite what folks are saying, and that Trump was a threat to this country. What say you? Okay, apparently, Ginger, you got some signal issues. I do got to move it on. We'll make it happen. Real quick, looking in the comments. I don't know what.
I don't see Trump
I don't know what.
being a threat to this country, but I mean, that to me.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. Well, apparently he dropped or something happened. All right, Miss Mo Betta. Let's see if that works. I don't know what happened with Ginger, but we are having some issues over here. Miss Mo Betta,
Can you hear me?
loud and clear.
Huh? You know I love coming on your show. You already know, Jesse.
Good to have you here. So Miss Mo Betta, why not Miss Mo Trump?
The devil's a lie. The devil is a lie. Even if he wasn't president, he wouldn't be a choice of mine. Believe that.
What's wrong with Trump?
What's right with him?
The economy?
Listen, if he did so great at maintaining that economy, we'd still be in it. So listen, when he messed up allowing that COVID to go as rampant as it did, when you had the plans in your hands, he totally dropped. That was a whole mess up. So what happens is, if he did do anything good, that COVID was so bad that he erased anything good that he did. That's unfortunate for him. I mean, it was unfortunate for us. Look how many people's lives has been lost because of COVID. It wasn't because of the economy. It was because of COVID. And then when I hear them speaking on, he didn't start any wars. How much domestic war was going on in here? Charlottesville. You have people dying all over the land over here, right here in our country. But they're not going to highlight those things. They don't want to. Because then the blood's going to be on his hands.
Wow. So
MAGA's a strong, union. I don't know. I'll call it a union, for the fact of not getting banned by TikTok. But
wait. You're calling MAGA a union. What term are you suggesting that you want to call them?
A cult.
Why? What makes you say MAGA is part of a cult?
When you ask people that genuinely support him of what he's doing and what Biden is doing, they never have a true answer. They never give you a complete answer. That just shows me you're supporting him. You're following him. You're a follower. You're not really a supporter because he's not even giving you anything to support. There's a whole difference. And that's why I always speak of having the correct definition of certain words and when to use them. So they're just followers. A lot of those people that follow Trump are kind of, like I said, not all Trump supporters are racist, but all those that are racist support Trump.
Wow.
And they showed that when people show you who they are, you have to believe them.
That's Maya Angelou.
Now,
So let me ask you this in regards to you suggesting people just follow Trump. Could they not be following him to cheaper gas prices, following him to a more secure border, following him to a United States that's not always at war?
But listen, that's possible. That's very possible. That is very, very possible. But he still has yet to prove to me that. See, inflation. What happens is inflation happens every about 10 to 12 years anyway. So prices are going to go up. See, what he did, he spoke in terms of, and this is why a lot of our black people follow him. He made everybody believe that I'm gonna make you as rich as I did. I'm gonna show you the tricks that I use to dodge taxes, to dodge the military. I didn't have to go. I had all the tricks to the trade to where I can dodge and still call myself a smart man and not a con man.
So you see Trump as a con man.
Oh, he's a wholeheartedly a con man.
Wow. So
he is a con. Now, I want to speak on immigration just a little bit in this border. Now, a lot of these people are coming over here legally. We know that yes, the border should be closed until we can get it under wraps. But you know what's keeping them here is these big name companies and businesses like construction workers and vineyard owners and people with restaurants and stuff like that. When you go in these places, who do you see working there? Hispanic people. I went to Walmart the other day, asked a lady for help. She couldn't even speak English. She couldn't even understand what I was saying.
But would that not be more under control if we had Trump? Do you feel Biden is doing what's right for our border?
No, and that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that Biden is handling the border properly. Of course, there's a lot of work and stuff that he could do. However, he need his constituents on the other side of the aisle to jump on ship. We already know how that does. No, we're going to block certain things that we come forth because we don't like everything that's in this bill. So, I mean, it's going to be a lose-lose situation either way.
Yeah, but Miss Mobetta, let me.
You want the borders closed? Or what do you want?
Well, we want him to act like he gives a damn. You're talking about the border bill that just was shot down last month. Why wait 3 years? Why is Biden just now doing something about the border?
You would have to ask him personally. I don't know. I don't understand why he waited so late to get the situation under control. Because I'm sure there's probably plenty of other things that he's fighting as far as getting bills and stuff passed. He's dealing with a whole Republican House and Congress and all, and Senate and all of that stuff. Everybody he's fighting against is against him. You know what I'm saying? So we already know how that works. They're not gonna. They want to make it seem like we are the big man in the room, not Biden. Okay. So we're gonna block anything that you come to us with and wait until it's our turn to put it forth.
So let me make it clear.
So,
make sure.
Again, but back to,
You believe Biden is doing a good job running this country right now?
Right now, I believe he's doing a good job. With what he has to work with, I think he's doing a good job. Can it be better? Absolutely. There's always room for improvement. It doesn't matter whether it's left or right. There's always, and we're not going to always agree on anybody that we even support. We're not going to agree with everything they do either, of course. But like we were saying before, you were saying the economy would be a lot better if we're not sending money to Ukraine and stuff like that. That could be true, but guess what? We're not going to get any of that money either way.
I don't disagree.
They're not going to dump. They're not going to dump that money back to us. We're still going to be talking the same thing. And what's going to happen is you're talking about homelessness and stuff. Now it's going to shift the blame. They're going to blame it on the homeless people. Oh, they're just lazy and don't want to work and don't want to do things. Now it's being blamed on the government. But once the Republican gets back in office, they're going to blame it on the people. So again, the hypocrisy is what gets it for me. Don't be a hypocrite. Don't be a hypocrite. Let's be truthful about this stuff here.
Right.
And like I was saying, my point about the illegal people coming here and working. See, a lot of these businesses are cashing in on it because they're not paying employee tax and workers' compensation or health insurance.
Yeah.
And this is where I feel the government should step in, start going after these companies and seeing who's on these people's payroll.
Well, but I gotta move it on because you got a real bad echo. But at the end of the day, before going all of that stuff, you gotta secure the border. I don't know why there's an echo, but I'll give you the last word.
Sure.
Do you feel confident that Biden is good till the age of 86?
No, I think he's a little old now. I think he might be a little, but that doesn't mean he can't handle the country. The thing about Biden is he respects the people that are around him that is helping him with this stuff. They know he's old. Everybody around him know he's old. So, but he got the right people in place. So this is what you do. This is how you move next. And he respects that. That's where Trump failed at the most. He don't think he has to listen to anybody. And he failed to realize that you actually have a boss.
Wow. And that is the American people. I appreciate you coming in, Ms. Mobetta. I don't know why there was an echo, but Definitely appreciate you coming
Okay.
through. Thank you. Wow.
Indeed.
I'm getting hit hard today. This is not an easy program to make happen. Folks are really coming down on me real good today. Looking in the comments. By the way, tap the screen. I was hoping to get around 100,000 in the likes department. Not as many folks supporting this Devil's Advocate Live for obvious reasons, but nevertheless, I am asking, why not President Trump for a second go-round? 86 years of age. Biden around till 86 years of age. Do you really think someone of that age would be an effective commander-in-chief? It's a challenging job, even for someone as young as Bill Clinton or Barack Obama. You see what happened to their hair? President Biden is likely to be the first president we've ever seen that, after serving time in the White House, does not appear to age. You can show his before and after photo, and Biden hasn't aged at all. I don't know what's left. So Biden, 86, you really think that's the man? Why not President Trump? Would Trump be that bad to bring back good economy, good gas prices, as we're talking about? Why is that? Look it in the comments. Lola, shout out to Lola, says he had a facelift. You think Biden is at that age? Who gets a facelift in their 80s? Really? Shit, can the skin even hold the needle? Look it in the comment. Trump is just trying to stay out of prison. He could care less about us. Wow. You're suggesting that Trump is only focused on his own endeavors to the point where he don't give a damn about the American people? Wow, you really have a low opinion of the guy. That's scary. Trump is a divider, not a uniter. He's divisive. Yeah, he says some pretty controversial things. Certainly, thank you folks for tapping the screen. We may be able to get up to that 100,000 if you let your thumbs not be lazy. As always, you know, this program shall forever remain MAGA friendly. We don't block, ban, or censor anyone. So it's an open forum every day, all day. 1 p.m. Central, Monday through Friday is when we are here. So if you enjoy this type of format, civilized dialogue, both sides of the aisle, without any concern of the host trying to block, ban, or censor you for your commentary, you are in the right place. I would encourage you to follow the program for my TikTok viewers, and certainly a subscription, if you will, on YouTube. We run simultaneously on both platforms, YouTube and TikTok. Looking in the comments real quick on YouTube, or better yet on TikTok. No prison for Trump. He has Secret Service protection for life. I don't know, Bake Boss, if having Secret Service protection for the rest of your life prevents you from being incarcerated. I don't think it does. I don't think you can put them in a federal institution that's highly secure. There are ways to get them. If he commits a crime, he commits a crime. I don't believe, basically what you're saying is, once you become president and given Secret Service protection for life, you are essentially above the law. I think his immunity loss that he just endured a few hours ago down in Georgia shows that's not true. Now, you don't get permanent immunity. That's scary. Thank God the courts are ruling against that. And here's what I don't get. This is for, regardless of how you feel about Biden or Trump. If you give one guy immunity, you do realize the other guy can use it as well. If you suggest that Trump had presidential immunity, let's say during January 6th or whatever the case may be, you do realize you open up the door for Biden to have immunity as well. So I don't think anybody, the idea that any president is even in court saying that I should be immune is a bit scary to me. That is a bit concerning. That if you didn't do nothing wrong, you didn't do nothing wrong. Just prove you didn't do anything wrong. If you're asking for immunity, that seems to indicate you think you did do something wrong, but the office prevents you from being held accountable. I don't like that defense. I really think that's problematic in itself. Innocent people don't fear trial. The hell they don't, says Cheo. Innocent people don't fear trial. Might I introduce you to a group called the Innocence Project? It's a lot of innocent people that go down. You should always fear someone that is trying to get you, period. So why virtually all defense attorneys advise everyone to limit conversation with the police. Only tell them absolutely what you must. Don't let them search your car. Don't tell them anything more than you need to. It's because people make mistakes. People make mistakes. It certainly can come out in trial as well. Also, trial is a game of chess. It's a win or lose environment. Both sides, the defense and the prosecution, have a lot riding on victories and losses. That's how they end up, that's how they are rewarded, based on how many cases they win, how many defendants they got off, how many folks they prosecuted and got locked up. They don't like to lose. So even when lawyers often know they're doing something wrong, or the client may be totally innocent or guilty of sin, they will continue on. You should always fear trial. There's tons of room for things to go wrong. Don't ever assume just because I'm innocent, I'll be okay. There is no guarantee of that whatsoever. Because the person who is trying you may have a lot riding on your conviction. There are people who have known they are prosecuting an innocent individual, but had a lot riding on the conviction and proceeded with it anyway. You know, if the mayor or somebody wants crime reduced and you're the prosecutor, and we need to get, like with these immigrants, perfect example. What's going on with these illegal immigrants right now? There's a lot of folks that believe they need to be prosecuted for crime. If one of them is put before a trial, you got a lot of folks that want a conviction. I don't want it to get out that we tried an immigrant for a crime and he turned out to be innocent. That doesn't look good in the news. I need a conviction. And there are prosecutors that will take that to heart and create a conviction where there may not justifiably be one. So don't ever consider going to trial something you shouldn't worry about. There is never a 0% chance you're going to walk away free or acquitted. Even if you're 100% innocent, there's never a guarantee you're not going to go down for something. Looking in the comments real quick. I was LAPD, a felony a day keeps the sergeant away. Damn. Los Angeles police officers stating a felony a day keeps the sergeant away. So you need to pin at least one felony on somebody per day, or the sergeant's going to wonder what the hell you're doing. And that's an interesting point, because you often hear members of law enforcement suggest, we don't have a quota. We just do our jobs. There's no, in my opinion, that's bullshit. If you join the department and the average officer is writing 5 tickets per day, that's your quota. They don't have to tell you. You don't join the force and all of a sudden you're writing 1 every day and everybody else is writing 5. What are you out in the streets doing all day? They're writing 5, you're only writing 1? Are you sitting around having lunch? What are you doing? 5 is your quota, regardless if they tell you or not. You do have a quota. Somebody's going to start questioning you. Anyhow, folks, unfortunately, I got a little bit of business to run, so I do have to shorten the line, but we're going to try to get back on tonight at 7. I want to follow this up. I want to know what's wrong with re-electing Trump. Nevertheless, I do have to run. It's your boy Tim, the Handsome Liberal. I will see you folks tomorrow. For you folks on YouTube, I always appreciate the support as well as the audience continues to grow. Real quick, I do like to answer a couple comments before I leave. Please be careful. Trump supporters are very dangerous, says Don Jackson. They're not dangerous to Trump supporters. If you support Trump, you're good. I mean, listen, even though I tend to lean one way, I've been to Trump rallies. There's a lot of love at the rally. If you are a Trump supporter, they're not dangerous to you. But there is danger. I do get your point. Democrats are running scared because of their own actions, so they're trying to pull anything they can on Trump. I don't know if I totally agree with you trying to pull anything they can on Trump, but they certainly are fearful. There are certainly plenty of Democrats that are scared Trump could get reelected. California is looking to hire illegal immigrants to be police officers. Is that true? Wow. I hope you're wrong about that. That's scary. Big Rooster was responding to Kevin O'Leary. You are delusional. I feel bad for you because I know you're not that stupid. but you keep proving me wrong. You guys are going back and forth. That's yikes. Oh my God. There is a case right now that a prosecutor was lying his entire career. Now hundreds of convictions are being looked at. Yeah, there's a lot of folks incarcerated that shouldn't be, or were over incarcerated, bumped up charges. Yeah, there's no denying our justice system. Think about the way our justice system is ran. It's literally ran where all the awards are based on locking people up and keeping them in prison longer. Nobody favors a judge that gave a lower sentence. They're favorable to judges who give longer sentences. Nobody's favorable to cops that are locking less people up. They're favorable to cops that are making more arrests. Prosecutors, more convictions. I mean, you look even to politicians. You're favorable to politicians that pass tougher laws to incarcerate people. Our entire justice system is designed based on a pro-incarceration model. Everybody in it is rewarded for putting more people behind prison and holding them there longer. So that alone should let you know all you need to know about whether you should trust that the system is looking out for people who didn't commit a crime that are actually innocent. No, nobody gets anything, any type of rewards or accolades if you help an innocent man prove his innocence. All the rewards are based upon helping a guilty person prove they're guilty and locking them up. It's all about incarceration. So I agree with that. Prison system broken as fuck, thanks to Dems and Republicans alike. I agree with that as well. Love you and how you look at all sides. Thank you, Mary. Appreciate the accolade. Appreciate that. Had he committed a crime, he would have already been in jail. That ain't true. How many folks on the right are complaining about individuals committing crimes and being let out of jail? So I don't know why you think if Trump committed a crime, he'd be locked up with his infinite resources. They're letting out regular criminals. So I don't know where that comes from. Nevertheless, appreciate you folks tuning in. I'll see you tomorrow, 1 p.m. Central is when we're on. I may actually be on tonight at 7. Catch you later.